here, and we are live.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello.
Good day.
So there is some stuff that's been going on. It's been cold, it's been windy, it's been a little bit of this and that for us here. Serb, why don't you catch us up on all of the lovely events we've been doing?
Okay. It was a very blustery day last time.
Yeah, with a blustery fella too.
You battled. You battled a elemental, a very large elemental, one who claimed to be the rival, the now ex-rival of the Dragon Prince Arturus. Finding out that you were his killers, he decided to make you his new rival, and you finished that battle in a draw with the lair of Prince Arturus now in more or less rubble, several hundred feet down the mountain. Much of the rest of the remains buried in an avalanche that you all were able to survive by riding the wreckage or flying out of the way.
That shit was tight.
Was there seemingly any more to the facility? It seemed like we pretty much went through all of it.
I mean, there were the mines, but I didn't explore that too deeply.
Yeah, and you'd have to dig through quite a bit of torn up rock at this point to get at anything else. But you think Alvis Tower is probably right that it was mostly the kobolds' tunnels that were in there, and to be honest, out of all of you, probably only Alvis Tower is the one who'd be able to fit inside those very well.
Of the area that's been sheared off that used to have castle on it, is that all buried in snow, or is it high up enough that the snow would have passed it and it's up and exposed?
There was a decent amount of snow cover above the castle, so a lot of that has fallen down over it. And most of the building that you were standing in came down with you. So you might be able to go back, and if you put in a decent amount of work, you might be able to find some like ledges and bridges here and there, all the way up there. But most of the building is in many smaller pieces down here now.
I see. Well,
and it is very much in pieces, even more so than the map might convey to you.
I see.
At the moment, we have Naya and Montlaurn standing in the doorway, and it's probably not very safe for the two of you to go back into that building, which has significant parts of the ceiling missing and lots of precarious bits of stonework hanging on by a thread. You're outside enough that you can pretty easily pick yourself up, get over the loose snow, and like 50, 100 feet away from this thing to relative safety before something else collapses on itself and fills your lungs with dust.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely top of my agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where everybody else is. I do see Nimbus, but
I have escaped and probably went up a bit. At this point, I'm not going to get rid of flight because we have, 9 more minutes of it.
Fly lasts an hour, doesn't it? Or is it only 10 minutes?
Let me scroll up because it was one of the last things that happened here.
Sort of.
Ish. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's only 10 minutes. Oh yeah, so it'll be running out soon enough.
Well, how long was it on? Like, I cast it right there towards the end of the battle.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, with everybody crawling out of the, or with those two crawling out, and with Ambergreen and Alvistav are kind of floating down the hill to meet you guys, you've got 8-9 minutes of it to float around a little bit longer.
I'm gonna shout out to Team Alvistaver and Ambergreen. Quick, let's go high for about 4 minutes, about as high as we can, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and then from there, get whatever view we can of everything in the distance. Or actually, how clear is it right now? Are the skies pretty clear in the distance?
Now that your new friend has stopped rampaging, it has become quite clear.
Okay, then I will continue with my statement. Let's rise up for a couple of minutes, get a good clear view of the area, have Albus here document. I'll kind of help hold him in place and hold things steady so we can do things nice and effectively here.
Yeah, just we'll fly up really high, summon a disc for me, and then I'll just like put it down like a drafting table.
If I make that, we'll fall.
Oh, it was a funny picture.
No, here, what I'll do is bring up some snow that I can melt and turn into a table. We can put a cloth over.
Okay.
Actually, I don't even need to do that. I could just shoot the geyser in the air and then kind of catch the water, essentially.
This is the best. Honestly, Nimbus, when we get back home, we need to, for a short while, hustle around and get some accurate maps.
Yeah, for sure. All right, up we go.
Now, you said something about getting high. Where's your stash?
I'm carrying you. Come on.
All right. So
do I need to roll cartographers or something, or a perception?
I don't think so, because this is the kind of thing that's pretty easy for you to do. Looking out all around you, you see really miles and miles of snowy, lightly forested landscape. You don't see any signs of what would have once been civilization. From up here, it's pretty hard to tell where there might be additional trenches dug by the kobolds who used to live here. But you can see a couple of spots, like particularly around the river, just to the southeast a little bit. If you had gone for another few hours in that direction, you would have found a what looks like a thin wooden bridge.
That was actually what I was going to ask about, is what sort of river crossings and what sort of blockages along the way on either side of the river can we kind of spot from here. So
yeah,
just trying to find what a clear path will be for us.
Around there, obviously, you can see sort of like a little bit of that spider web trench digging. But eventually they become too sparse or too far away for you to see very clearly. And that's really about it. I don't think you'd be able to see all the way to the southern coastline from here. So, the south is just the horizon, and to your west are the mountains.
Yeah. That makes sense. But as much as we can kind of ascertain from where we're at, that'll be good and help us kind of determine, what we want to do, if we want to continue pressing south or not.
Man, I don't know if we'll be able to keep pressing south. Right? We don't want to bite off more than we can chew with the redshift.
Well, especially with the teleportation circle damaged. I presume it is damaged. Are you guys going to check on the way down?
Oh, we don't
No,
need
that is well and truly gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't need one at all to teleport out of here in an emergency.
Yeah, this time that decision was made for you. So there will be no more teleporting to this location, at least not that you're aware of.
Yeah.
You only saw the one.
That's fine.
Did we see anything that was like living quarters?
Yeah,
for Arcturus?
Yeah, that was the chamber in the windowed room near the teleport circle.
Oh, I thought that was the cell. Was the cell behind that?
No, this was the floor above. The cell was on.
Oh, okay.
Might remember that when you explored the dragon's volcanic lair, the room belonging to Prince Arturus likewise did not have a bed there. He seems to just like pillows.
He meditates.
Or he just doesn't stay much in human form, maybe.
He's just very Spartan about things.
Just
all he needs is a spear.
Naya finds it interesting and somewhat of a conundrum that he chose to be here. So, it kind of makes her wonder, like, maybe was his mother an ice dragon?
He didn't choose to be here. This was the land given to him or assigned to him by his father to loot and plunder.
That's a fair point. Also,
I don't remember hearing that. So
yeah,
all of the brothers were assigned fiefs. Yeah.
The other things I remember about it is that there was a lot of, there were all the big creatures. He liked doing large creature hunts. But then another part of the whole deal was that apparently there were riches to be found in FOL because it was hard for anyone else to really even do anything in the area and access it. And he was, I guess, able to deal with the cold better than them, or found a way to.
The guy.
So he brought hordes and hordes of kobolds who I imagine hated the frigid cold,
right?
And threw them at any and every situation he needed.
Yeah, I also don't know that it was necessarily cold the whole time. Like, this was probably caused by that elemental.
Seems like it.
So we don't know when their rivalry started.
And if he's been technically defeated, does he, not a draw, but a defeat, does he turn it off so the place can grow a little bit more?
Well, that's why it would be interesting to take a look, a year or two down the road, if there was a teleportation circle available.
Well, I don't think we're going to be done with this area anytime soon. I think we should take a little bit to rest and recover. We're all beat up. And I really think we should press on to Infowall and see what we're dealing with there.
Okay. Well, we should be pretty close, right?
Yeah. this was his, forward operating base, so I can't imagine we're too far out. It'll be a little bit of a search. It might be
We're
a
looking
matter
for a
of...
short rest, right?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, Naya can't do another wild shape,
I'll
so she
still
has a
do-
short rest.
I'll still do a bubble for the short rest, just so it's nice and comfortable.
That's good. Okay. So
What
your short
time
rest-
of day is it, sir?
Oh, I think you got here pretty close to the morning, didn't you? Like you were.
Think so,
It
but
was a couple hours in. It can't be past noon by now.
okay.
So I mean, yeah, you can all sit down for lunch, heal up, get your breath back, spend some hit dice. Yeah, your short rest you'll be able to complete it. Albus Taver, if you want to make a check with advantage using your cartography tools, you can see if you can identify where precisely you are right now.
Will do, God.
Nice. That's good. I was going to give you a 15. Yeah, anybody who wants to can roll hit dice. Again, short rest as usual. Get your short rest abilities back. So
we're doing that now and just pretending that we're all together and stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean,
he said that we all met back up.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You're in a tiny
hut. I'm gonna need a lot of hit dice here.
Yeah, I think it seems so. Remember, you can roll them one at a time if you like.
Okay.
I just pressed short rest and I got both wild shapes back.
That's correct.
Yes.
Thought I only got one.
Nope,
No,
they're not mean like that.
What, you think fucking D&D's hardcore?
Mm-hmm.
Not this edition.
Cool. Okay.
So,
oh, it says right in front of me, short or long. Duh.
Albus Taver, cross-referencing your map with the terrain around you and the distance you've traveled this week. You're pretty confident that where Eofewell is marked on your drafts and where Prince Ef told you Eofewell was is here. You're right on top of it.
And 3/8.
But that's a good roll.
Wow.
But besides the castle, you don't see signs of anything anywhere around you. No city. No nothing.
I think I know what they were really mining for. They might have been looking for the city.
Well, could the whole city be underground?
Under snow?
Yeah.
Under the ice.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe. Or this is Ethelwell. Or was, rather.
I don't think so, because was FOL a Kobold City?
The only thing a kobold make here was the tram.
Yeah.
The castle
was much newer than the castle.
Yeah, the castle was not kobold make.
Hey, did I use my racial levitate ability at some point since we left town?
I don't remember.
Don't think I did. So I'm gonna actually put that back to 1. but I used
Or is that how you got off the back of the big ass turtle thing?
Was
I
it?
think it might have been.
Maybe it was. Yeah. Nope. That's a 0.
Yeah,
Sir,
marked down probably.
My sheet is saying Naya has 59, and I look at her token, and it looks close to 59. Can you verify that?
Yeah, it says 55 minus 13 right now. You're at 59 hit points right now?
Well, yeah, on the sheet it says 59.
There you go. Token should be correct now.
All right. I used the
Okay, thanks. I didn't know if it was right.
Arcane Recovery to recover a level 2 and a level 3 slot.
Excellent.
Now I realize, sir, you don't have to tell me, obviously, because, we might have to encounter him again or whatever, but I get the feeling what you really wanted me to do was just fling fireballs at him the whole time.
That's something that you very well could have done.
Because he kept on saying about fire slowing him down, so that would, that would make
Dissipate the
sense.
storm.
Yeah. And, that was kind of the thing, is like, did I have a chance to prevent the whole thing from coming down, crashing down? I guess the same with if I started blasting with fire and those moonbeams started from the beginning, would we have been able to cook them down quickly enough?
Oh, you were doing some damage.
I know we were, but
Yeah.
sadly not enough to save the place.
Sadly, no.
Well, we got to
Hold on.
see it, so that's something.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna screenshot his health bar for you. Plus I deleted the token anyway. But such is done. The castle is a pile of stones in a field at this point. Not significantly more than that.
If I hit him with Sickening Radius and he didn't get out of the radius and took the 4 full hits, would you have actually let him just get insta-killed with exhaustion?
I'll tell you, he was immune to exhaustion. And paralyzed and petrified and poison and stuff.
Oh, okay, thank goodness. So it would have just beat the crap out of him over many rounds, and it would have been hard for him to escape it with his slow move speed. But he wouldn't have actually... He might have said, "Oh, this is getting me a little tired. Nothing I can't shrug off." But, maybe. I don't know. He's your character. I'm just taking a guess here.
There are many options that can happen in D&D.
Yep.
Yep.
Spoken like a DM.
I was just kind of thinking about the details and the hints you were kind of dropping on us there. All right, so resto. Everybody got all their hit points. Everybody got all of their short rest abilities that they can use to short rest and do things or get back from a short rest or whatever.
With your
Yep.
Great.
We're good to go.
Yep. Likewise, good to go.
All right. And while you're all packing up your things, Nimbus is getting ready to stand up, stretch, take the big step out of the sphere into the cold again. Just as the tiny hut disappears, you are struck by the Redshift's first wave.
Beautiful.
It has begun.
I had a feeling that was coming.
Yeah.
We should be able to outrun it and get back home in time. We'll just have to keep on taking the Phantom Steeds.
That
Yeah.
you think that's very viable for you. Yeah, it's likely that you'll be able to make it back to All Saints before the Redshift reaches it. You also know that you have to worry about the Redshift leading through the gate at the Mountain Silex. So even going west is a bit of trouble now, because starting in one day, the Redshift storm will be covering the western span. And you'll be pinned in the middle.
Right. Yeah.
Fortunately, you have many locations to
Yeah, what's the
Run.
closest? Could we put up the regular map if we're done here?
absolutely.
Thank you. What's the closest location for Maricus?
No, not by far. You are far to the east,
Ah, okay.
and I think the closest is still going to be All Saints or Terra if you can barely make it. But I think you make it to All Saints with the steeds. You made it all the way out here in only 3 days, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit of a slog, though.
It is.
Yeah, we have to hustle.
With no daisy chained obelisks all the way down here, stretching out this far leaves you a little bit vulnerable. So yes, it is indeed time to hustle.
And away we go then.
Is
Okay.
it faster to go through the Red Hills? I don't know what else we're going to call them.
Should
To
be
get to
labeled on the
Teray?
map.
I'll tell you that unless something slows you down significantly here, you'll be able to get to All Saints just fine.
Okay.
As long as you're using your steeds, as long as nothing, kills Nimbus on the way,
Right. Okay.
you'll be just fine. So I'll move you
Or
about
Nimbus.
here for now. Yeah, no, that'd be terrible if you're a very important wizard. We're suddenly
Yeah, I usually try to keep
Your
that
only
one from
escape route.
happening.
your ultimate safety net.
I like wizards.
But yeah, real quick, second. You are gonna have to stop a couple of nights on the way as you're making
Okay.
your run back. So that didn't work. Roll 20. Thank you.
What's
Right,
that? A tiny hut?
Well, I assume you're inside the tiny hut like always in the evening.
Right.
But near the edge of the snowy landscape, you've had to stop as darkness has fallen, and you've settled down and kind of there's a little it's just a slightly raised hill.
Oh crap.
It's about 5 feet down each of those little slopes around it. And Montlarin, Alvis Taver, you did a quick patrol around the area. You didn't find any weird drakes or anything, or anything like that. Came back with some firewood. Amber Green, you produced food for everyone as usual. Nimbus has been handling his tiny hut. Naya, I'm not sure what you do around camp, if anything specific.
Nope.
You're a druid.
I was just kind of throwing stuff at people, assuming they'd volunteer for it.
Yeah, same. Nio take first watch as usual.
I dug a trench.
But you know, if everybody's covering all the other necessities, Nio will just hang out and chat.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Well then,
always
Naya, you being
volunteer
on
for
first
that.
watch is perfect. Because I want you to roll a DC 12 perception check while you're watching, and while everybody else is asleep.
So just roll DC 12 or do perception.
Perception. Yes.
Ah, okay. Good.
Yes.
How many ones did I have? Let's see here. Oh, okay.
That's just a. Yeah, that's a 7. You see from the northeast and from the southwest. Since you're on a hill, it's easier for you to see them gliding across the snow. Are two bright lights. They look sort of like willow wisps, but you can see they leave kind of a wake in the snow behind them. And they're approaching your little hill here.
Are we a light source in the tiny hut?
It's opaque from outside.
So it should be a mirror, right?
Well, opaque would mean that it's just dull.
Okay.
And you can see through it from inside.
Okay.
So what do you do? Nothing?
Or wait,
Okay.
who's next in the watch order?
I like taking second watch.
Okay, so I nudge Alvis.
Oh, is that time already?
Shh, shh, shh. We have company.
They
Can I come on
approach
tea?
your hill and kind of swoop around, circling it.
I cast prestidigitation quietly and make it smell like fresh brewing tea. We've been awake for a while, totally. They might be more cautious if they think we've been awake for a while.
Okay.
Well, they might.
They obviously can sense us despite the tiny hut being opaque.
Or they just sense the tiny hut. Oh wait, I'd be asleep.
Well, they are circling us. So I guess it's time
Yeah,
to wake
notice it's
everybody up.
Can I roll like a deception or something?
What do you want to see?
I want to deceive them into thinking that we're like up and alert, like making dinner kind of up and alert.
I don't think the tiny hut would allow you to do that because it is opaque.
Yeah, it's opaque, and I can't get smells to go through it, right?
So you're kind of, unless you walk through the hut, you're kind of stuck watching this happen.
Well, I
guess
wanted to see what they would do. And they're circling us, so they are aware that there's something here. They may not know it's got 5 people in it. They may not understand or have any sense of that, but they're aware that there is something here. Something foreign, perhaps.
We know you're in there.
Yep, they know we're here.
I know you're out there. You want a cup of tea or a kipper?
Let me just double check.
Does sound transmit out the tiny hut?
I am actually double checking. All creatures and objects are barred. Spells and magical effects can't extend. I guess sound could go out.
I always figured we kind of had to whisper.
Yeah.
To not be too obvious.
Because something like wall of force actually specifies that nothing can penetrate it, which includes sound.
You know that came up and was argued about for hours.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah, we know you're out there. You want tea? You're gonna stop sneaking around like a bunch of creeps.
We're not sneaking. We watched you settle here.
Well, we're not settled. We would like to keep on moving if you'd have us, leave in the morning.
We're not here to stop you. Not really.
Well, then, I extend my offer again. Would you like a cup of tea? Maybe we can talk, settle differences, make a plan, or maybe be on our way. It's cold out there.
Come into our light if you wish to speak. We cannot see you in that hole you've dug.
I
All right, so
tie
I'm gonna.
a rope around me, and then I hand the other end to you, and I'm all like, I tug on this pull.
I mean, she could see you, but yeah.
Yeah, but still, I'm a little gnome, you know?
Yeah.
You can definitely pull on me.
So you're
Okay,
gonna
I
go
think
out
that's
there
what it
instead
is.
of me?
Yeah. Well, I'm the one who offered parlay. I'll go out.
All right. Is everybody awake now? Finally? yeah.
There's been a lot of whispering. I don't know if you guys didn't say you're waking
I
everybody
nudged
up,
him.
then-
I nudged him and said, "Okay, it's time to wake everybody up."
Oh, you. Okay, so, we'll say that while Alvis Taver's getting this rope on, and as he's stepping outside, then Naya, you're able to get everybody else roused.
Okay.
All right.
So Alvis, you have control of your token.
I'm gonna. I have a kipper, a smoke kipper, and I'm sure I have maybe something that could amount to tea. Right? We have a fire going.
Probably pretty low by now, but you might have had something like a pot on the grill.
Yeah. I'll take a small setup out. I'll be like staying close to the edge of the house. I'll be like,
Yeah.
all right, y'all want a cup of tea and a kipper?
They stop swirling, but considering they are misty balls of light, you don't know if they'll partake. They don't
I wouldn't expect them
have
to.
limbs to take, so you maybe you're holding it out to them, but they're gonna leave you hanging for a little bit, at least for now.
They do. I'll put the tray down and just keep on holding it. And I'm like, what can I do for y'all?
A warning. First, a gratitude for quelling Lord Jet.
Oh, Benny. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Benny. That was more of a draw, but thank you for the recognition.
He can cause quite the turmoil when he's agitated, and now that you've satisfied him, we suppose he won't be looking for another battle for some time. But, they say, we have never seen you in this land before. We must warn you. They turn like this way. If you continue on this route, you will approach that fire, and that is far too dangerous, even for someone who can stand up to Lord Jet. Please Be careful and reconsider your destination, is our warning.
Are they referring to the spire, the tower? When they talk about the spire, are they talking about the tower at the far northeast?
It looks like they, when they said that, they moved around Albus Tower and kind of oriented northeast.
Okay.
Our goal actually is this tower in question. We wish to either parlay with it and better understand it, or to rid its curse upon the land.
What? What? Even though you have just done battle, you are continuing forward in that direction.
Yes, we actually, that is our original direction. This is a side project of ours. I do not wish to call your home a side project, but
A mere diversion.
a diversion to shore up our, let's call it our flanks before we dedicate more attention to the spire in question.
Where did you come from? You clearly don't serve Omnithopus.
Omnithopus is gone.
Omnithopus
he's
is no
dead.
longer the ruler or the errant claimant to these lands.
Their whole family's either dead or retreated.
Dead, baby.
And before one were to errantly fight for his claim, know that though we defeated the monster that was his corpse, it was the Redshift that ultimately took him in his arrogance. We put down the monster the Redshift created from his body, but his end was brought by the curse on this land we seek to parlay.
Dead. He's dead. And you fought his living corpse. It's no wonder you were able to stand up to Jet.
Do you need any help knowing now whom you're speaking to?
Says the oh so humble Elvis Tapper.
I'll have you know, we're the aces. We're a pretty big deal.
Kind of a big deal. I mean,
Back in the Empire, you should see the propaganda I have published about you. I bet you have a whole small cult of
Nile
druid
worshippers.
folks.
Oh, you've all got simps for sure.
Too
I'm
funny.
sorry, I interrupted you.
We have simps? Wait, what?
I mean, back in the Empire.
We do?
Yeah, you have people
Mindset.
who would love to be.
Nah, I
like
just never
you.
thinks of that stuff ever.
It's better if you don't.
Too funny. Okay, keep going. This is good.
They say then it would seem our warning was unfounded.
We actually appreciate the warning.
Yeah, we do appreciate it.
Intercessors have come and disrupted the long-standing balance, and they aim to disrupt it further and put down the accursed spire.
If any information
interesting.
that you can get from them about the spire and whatever they know would be good. Albus.
Disrupt the balance is an interesting way to say it, especially given what we know about the spire in question. I have said more than once we seek to parlay with the entity that we have also called a curse. That's because I see only two options, and that is if this thing is conscious, then perhaps, like any entity, we can play diplomacy with it. If not, then perhaps we can uplift the curse. But I ask again, is there any way we can help you? I do wish to ask for information and what you know of these lands that you seem native to, but I would not do it for free.
Yes, we will tell you a little bit of what we know. They circle around you more. They whisper further. One says, first, names. I am sunshine on fresh snow, and I am muffled shadow on a cold night.
Oh, those are wonderful names.
Agreed.
And we have attended to the jet who streams around the mountain peaks for an age. And he has exulted in testing his strength against the spawn of Omnithivus. If you would do us a favor in exchange for what we know of these lands that you are new to, we would ask that you only perhaps consider visiting again so that you can battle him again.
You know,
Battle who?
yeah,
Ben.
oh, the Benny. Yeah, I kind of, I'm okay with that. Been denied one too many second rounds with creatures of this land. If you wish us to battle the elemental once more, I'm sure we could do that.
Does that
I'm
make
at
you
least
guys
down
the
for it.
Jets?
What?
I said,
Are
does
you
that make
guys-
these guys the Jets?
Right.
I'm just following this through to its logical conclusion.
Of course.
We are far lesser. We are only present around where he flies. But he does so enjoy making battle with those he deems worthy of his attention. And there are few who can provide.
He did seem to enjoy it.
We think he likes you quite a bit after that.
He certainly seemed a friendly chap.
Then, if you agree to return someday, we will tell you a little bit about the land you are in before we leave again and return to the mountains. For tens and tens of years, the spawn of Omnithivus, Arturus, visited here, seeking with his small kobold folk glittering metal dug out from the ground. We would occasionally encounter these small, pitiful creatures digging and shivering and freezing. For Arturus forced them to seek the stones buried underneath the snow. Often they would come back up from their tunnels, carrying their loot, they would disappear with it into their castle, and we would not see it again.
Bounty for Omnificus, I presume.
Occasionally, we would stop and help those who were dreadfully lost or otherwise in danger to get back to their kind, but uh, they struggled en masse for years and years, and we've seen generations of these creatures come and go. And every so often, Arturus and Lord Jet would do battle for fun.
Hmm.
Sounds about right.
From the way his minions speak, it sounds as though they believe they've exhausted nearly all there is to find in this land. They were digging deeper, further than they ever had before, because they believed in none else for them to find. We do not dive beneath the snow, so we do not know what else there is for them to find. But they have scoured miles of this landscape in all directions over the years. You could likely follow their tunnels and be lost for days if you were so inclined.
Not before they collapsed on you. Shabby little things.
Does that answer some of your questions?
What do they know of the tower?
All we know of your dangerous spire that you seek is that every few days it beats red, and then lesser creatures are afflicted terribly. And we too have seen those small kobolds, those who are lost in the snow but manage to survive long enough to meet the red, come to a terrible fate. We have watched it again and again over these long years. That is why we warned you not to go closer, because we believed you weren't familiar.
Ah, no, we're familiar. We have a means of that. A safe hold.
And it's not just around here. We've seen confirmations of that sort of activity from the Redshift, or pretty much going all the way as far as the western edge of it. We found some entities that weren't affected by it, either because they didn't understand what it was, and if we didn't tell them, then they could just avoid it. And we likewise found that once we did tell some folks, it was some pixie friends of ours, and they understood what it was that they were dealing with, it immediately was able to affect them when it hadn't really done so before, and done so in a lethal manner before.
We are unaffected. Have you cursed us?
No. But perhaps you don't want to, go declaring your loyalty towards us. Perhaps deem yourself a neutral.
And we will help you no further from here out. It sounds like you deal with matters that are dangerous beyond knowing.
That is very
We
wise.
gave you
and
our
understanding.
warning and we gave you our information. You gave us a promise that we wish to hear. That will be it. And we will leave you be.
How far can you
Cheers.
dwell from the mountain?
We can fly freely, and now we shall. Farewell.
If you...
Cheers.
Well, wait.
Yeah, just like the wind. Here one moment, then gone.
As they start flying away, I shout, "Come back with us! We have protection!"
Albus Tabber, you think he's scared of them?
Hey. So,
Old man shouts at sky.
wait, aren't you like wind elemental? Or are you water elemental?
Nimbus
Well,
is water.
What? No.
Well, and electric. You're a warlock that does water? Is that how you
My
work?
mom's water, my dad's air. I take a little more after my dad than my mom in that way.
I see. I just your name being one thing, but all I usually see you casting is water and ice.
And lightning, and fire, and acid a few times, and some magic missiles, and
That's just warlock.
and thunder wave when things are on top of us. I'll always throw a thunder wave out there.
Now you're starting to sound like a Pikachu.
Those things taste pretty good. I haven't had one in years.
Okay. Well, so it sounds like they don't necessarily know anything about the tower, except the redshift comes from there.
Yeah.
And the redshift doesn't affect them, but it affects others. And
Hopefully
they have
it
empathy
doesn't
for
affect
it.
them now.
Well, we can just hope. I told them to stay a neutral party, and so if we just deal with their affairs, I'm sure they'll remain up.
Yeah, they're no friends of ours.
And
Can't
so,
travelers merely talk in the night and then be on their way without being friends?
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right,
It's nice to see a friendly face or two.
I'm going back to sleep. That was lovely.
Oh. If you woke me up early, I guess I'll do the rest of your shift in mine.
Oh, okay. You go back to sleep if you want.
Whatever. I got some projects.
All right.
So the rest of the evening passes. You are further undisturbed. No elementals, no turtles, no drakes. Continuing on. Oh, yes, go right ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say any hypno rabbits?
None of those either.
Yeah.
A regular rabbit or two out here.
Nobody.
If we find them out here, we're more likely to potentially find a nest of them. Then, we've got bigger problems.
Whole nest. I could be so lucky.
Over the next couple of days, you make good time back to All Saints. And
All
as
right.
the shock wears off from your adjustment to the change in weather, you ride back into the fort. Not before about a full day before you get there. Tavern, you hear a tickle in your brain.
A tickle in my brain?
Yeah. And you hear a voice that says, "Good evening, Tavern.
Sharp?
Checking in. Brigadier wants to know, are you alive? Back to All Saints? Let me know."
Huh.
Whose
That's a new
voice-
development.
Whose voice was that?
Oh, it was Sharp.
That was Sharp.
That's a new development.
He just cast a message, right?
Sending.
Sending. So I'm allowed to send back a short message, right?
You can send back 25 words, yes.
We are fine on our way back. What is up? This is weird, bro.
I thought you were
That's
going to say,
funny.
"What's for dinner?"
Yeah. What's for dinner too?
Yeah, you got plenty of space in there. He doesn't give you another sending back.
Ah,
No, maybe
cheapskate.
he's out of spell slots or something.
That's pretty funny.
It's not like he can't rest.
It takes a whole week.
For rest?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
long rest.
You just gotta ritualistically cast it.
He can he
Yeah.
can use arcane recovery though with a short rest.
Yeah,
Maybe
you can.
Maybe he already did.
Well, maybe he can
What a
get another
demanding day.
spell. We're gonna have a long rest here in just a moment.
Yeah, what if I want to sending back to him?
Do you know sending?
No. Nimbus, do you know sending?
It's available to me, but I don't have it prepared.
I was
God
going to say,
damn.
I might know sending, but I don't have it prepared.
Killed.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's a good thing for
You'll
a
have
bard
to-
to send like a little just a
I
little
I
acapella
absolutely
to
do know
someone.
sending. I just don't have it prepared. And I'm out of spell slots anyway.
You'll have to mull over what you're going to say on your way back.
Oh, you know what? I haven't. Oh, it's just not prepared. Never mind. I'll take it all back. I was going to say, I have 2 spell slots. I can actually cast sending, but I can't.
Bro, what the fuck? You didn't tell me what was for dinner.
Okay, yeah, so I guess that's going to be the first thing you say when you get back.
To him? Yeah.
It's Indian. The Dasher is at the store. They'll be there here soon.
But back you do arrive. And you can put yourselves wherever you like.
Is anything weird happening? Is anything okay?
No, I mean you arrive in close to sunset. Probably Van is the first one to spot you, and he'll come out to the edge of town to meet you.
Yeah, I'd ask him if everything was okay. We got a sending.
Well, you went a very long way, so the Brigadier was a little concerned, as usual. Mortier's group got back early, so she asked him to check up on you.
Oh, cute.
Well, that's nice of them.
Yeah.
How far could you see how far we actually went? Because we went pretty damn far. Like I'm pretty sure like the curvature of the world surface would have obstructed.
Yeah, you
your
were
view at
leaving a
some
pretty
point.
big dust trail riding those horses that fast up here. I could see you from... Oh, you must have been miles and miles out.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of moving fast and things moving fast, like a giant
You have to tell the
jovial.
story of Benny, Benny the Jet over dinner.
Yeah.
It's just too fun.
And
Yeah, don't tell me until we've got everybody. I don't want to make you repeat yourselves.
Yeah.
By the way, as he's leading you into town and into the safety of the obelisk, good news for you. We had Valir's team put up the obelisk at Silex in the mountaintop. And after they did that, the Redshift did not come through.
Oh, excellent.
Fantastic. That's very helpful.
We're worried about that.
Yeah.
That's why we hauled ass to get here.
I mean, not that we wanted to go anywhere else anyway, but yeah, we definitely wanted to return here.
And here you are. When you get into town proper, everyone is milling about. The people are lively. I mean, once you kind of get out of the really shoddy outskirts and into the central sort of neighborhood that has been getting built up and repaired, it almost feels like an actual city a little bit.
Damn right.
Everybody looks pretty happy, satisfied, fat and happy kind of thing.
Colorful tents and pennants have been put around the streets to keep things cool. The Mara have been hard at work growing grass and roots and shrubs around the edges and through some of the barren streets and lots. So it's actually starting to turn a bit green around here.
Cool.
There's a lot of the central buildings now have proper roofing made out of lumber harvested from the boughs of the grand tree that have been purified. And in addition to that, there's some simple lamps and strings of light hung up around the streets, especially now that it's starting to get darker earlier in the evening, to keep things well lit into the evening, especially with so many nocturnal folk living here.
Fucking beautiful. I love it. It's
Good
great.
progress. How's the lake look?
Shiny, calm, pristine. Eska's, well, she kind of towers over the shoreline a little bit, and you can see her just leaning up on the street, as you approach down the main causeway, and you can smell something cooking by the time you get in here.
I'm looking for the Brigadier, but if I see her, Eska first.
Lieutenant standing right here at the front by the dock.
I know, this is just for
The Brigadier is actually currently at her usual spot in front of the obelisk.
Okay.
You might see her over there by the time you get down the main street. She's in her chair. She's same thing she always does. She's got her notepad and she's checking off the names of every single person who is out on an expedition, making sure they got home okay.
Yep, that's why that's why I'm here. She would like and appreciate a check-in. If I saw Eska first, though, I would evening, beautiful.
Hi, how did it go? Was it too cold?
It was freezing.
We
had a draw with this elemental. You two might get along, baby.
Yeah, he might be, You might have to have a bit of a duel with him first.
I was gonna
Nothing
say, he
you
wasn't
couldn't
exactly
handle.
a dick, but he was a blustering person.
Yes.
As long as he's not made of fire.
No,
Wind.
No, he's made of wind and ice and cold.
Oh.
his ambition, if he were allowed to, is to freeze the entire continent. It sounds like, but I don't know that he can actually do that.
That doesn't sound very good. What did you?
So we found
You're
we
fine.
found
We fought to a draw.
yeah, we found the fort that Arcturus had up there, and his very Spartan quarters, and the very Spartan basically just little alcoves that the kobolds would be living in there. And there were some kobold tunnels in the mountain behind it, and other than that, it had a nice lift system that the kobolds built so you could get up to it. It's very cool. Unfortunately, when we encountered our friend the Jet, they turned into a whirlwind and destroyed the foundations and caused an avalanche, and the whole thing came sliding down.
Our friend is Benny. His little
Benny the Jet.
helpers are the Jets.
Benny the Jetstream.
Benny the Jetstream. So that was an interesting battle, fighting a gigantic whirlwind and their little elemental buddies. They were pretty tough. I don't know if anyone even knocked any of them over, but that was the climax of it. Before that, we fought some ice cubes that had oscillating freezy balls inside of them, and they were kind of guarding the pathway to the mechanism to lead us up. There were some ghosts at the top that, instead of fighting them, we just kind of led them back down to the rest of the group and fought them towards the ground, and they weren't actually that much of a problem to deal with. And then once we got back up there, kind of checked out the place and found Benny the Jetstream
He was in a cage.
curiously locked in a cage. The cage was more of a suggestion, or perhaps the symbol of having been defeated in the last encounter. But upon knowing that Arcturus was defeated and that we were the ones to do it, he basically just bust the door down and decided, nope, wants to fight us right now. He wants to fight us again, too.
Didn't one of us fuck with the chain, and that's when he busted the door out?
Nope.
No, I thought we were investigating the chain when that happened.
We looked at the chain,
at it,
but that's it. Looking's free.
but Benny's a lawful character, so if he was in jail, he'd stay there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I even offered that. I was like, maybe it was entirely symbolic or magical as a guess, but I thought that we had actually put fingers on it before it busted.
As we had,
glad you're okay. That sounds exciting.
As we started getting worn down, we suggested that he check out the volcano that emerged over by the bay.
The red herring volcano.
Referred to it as, I believe he referred to volcanoes in general as smoky assholes or smoking assholes, one or the other. And just really that just riled him up that there was a volcano there just in general. So I guess he's going to try to freeze that volcano over, and then he'll likely come back after that. He might come
quite
here.
A character.
I
told him he was full of bluster, and he said, "No, that's my cousin."
When he's not in storm form, he is completely invisible. For all I know, when he's done with that volcano, he'll just find us and stalk us, and when we come back here, he'll try to start something again.
Van says, "Perfect. Now we'll just have to get everybody gathered up, and you'll have to tell that to everyone again."
Yep. Oh, I'm more than happy to. There were other things. Let's start with the drakes when everyone gathers.
What about the giant turtle?
Oh yes, you're right. The giant turtle, and maybe also talk
we're
about
getting
the
there.
trees.
Let everybody gather.
You know, there were a lot of things. That place is wild. The things that they said about that place and why Arcturus was the one to deal with it, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense.
I really felt bad for the kobolds, though.
Oh yes,
what a horrible life.
I would never send another kobold down there unless they really, 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 really wanted to be in a cold and barren place for some reason. But that'd have to be after the Redshift has been destroyed, and then at that point, I don't know. Our windy little friend there, our giant windy friend. Size is kind of relative with that guy, I guess. Would maybe come back and freeze that area over, maybe do something else. Who knows?
Wait, size is an elemental and it's related to and wind?
Look, I honestly have no idea how small or large his actual form might be because he's invisible when he's not in a giant whirling storm.
No, I was just making a funny joke.
Like the cage itself, for all we know, was, just kind of a joke, and he exuded like out through the edges like a fluffy cat in a grated crate sort of thing. And just took up the entire room. The door, the gate itself was just a suggestion, or it could be that at his core he's actually only about the size of a thimble, and he can make himself as big as he wants because that's the kind of power he has. Hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. Next time we're talking to him and he's nice and calm, we'd have to fling a giant bucket of paint on him and see what sticks. I don't even think that would work. It'd probably just go straight through him.
Yeah, I assume he's incorporeal.
Yeah. So it's hard to determine size under those characteristics. But for them to, sneak in here at any given time, now that they know, there are other people out there and Arcturus has been defeated, there's a non-zero chance of that happening. And I think when that happens, when Eska and Captain Van and everyone else beat this fella down, we're not trying to kill him. I think the idea would be trying to recruit him in some way.
Yes.
Because having that sort of wind power may be very helpful to us.
That could be very helpful. Plus just size and imposing kind of. It could be a great ally. Oh, we also met Vashta. We need to talk about that.
Well,
we didn't meet Vashta. Vashta's left us a message and a little heal.
Is Lucent with us now?
No, you guys have been talking amongst yourselves at this point.
Okay, so that's another. We need to do the report.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I've done enough talking. I will let someone else deliver the full report in full. This was actually a very, despite all the danger, a very fun adventure. I mean, the part where the two of you were sliding down the whole thing during the avalanche, that was amazing. I wish I was out. I wish I didn't fly away to see that because I wasn't sure how stable that building was going to be.
I was surprised it actually worked. Never surfed concrete before, but it worked.
Yeah. Well, maybe on your off time when you go back home, you'll get some concrete slabs and ride them down the avalanche. I don't know.
They call something. They did something. I wasn't old enough to participate, but they did something that they called it like ski or something. I don't know. I'll have to find out what that is, but they would go down a mountain. So that sounds fun.
Oh, yeah. think it's similar to what's called footboating where I'm from. That's
maybe.
the rough translation.
Is that anything like gnome dossing?
No.
No, I was thinking it was way more like OnlyFans, but
Well, no, it's basically you put things on your feet and then it's not rowing like a canoe, but it's kind of a similar, like you're using your arms to kind of move and stabilize yourself sort of thing. So it's
so it's like slip slide and gnome.
I would imagine so. Sure, yeah. Okay.
We call them foot scoots, but yeah, I get it.
Foot scoots.
All right. Well, Lauren, I nominate you to do the report.
Oh, he's already up there.
Yep.
Oh, well, we're the slackers then.
Yeah, we're all just bullshitting over here, and like Key and the rest of them are just glaring at us.
The Brigadier swivels around, and you see her with her left hand strike off your name from the list, Montlarin. All five of you.
Nice.
She says, "Good, Lauren, you're back. Yeah, we'll have to get your full report. Glad you're okay. You went pretty far, so I had Sharp check up on you. Hope that was fine."
It was.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
It was weird, but yes.
I was.
We were cutting it close, so
I was very worried that something might be going on.
Arisa says, "Hey, welcome back, Royal Knight in training."
What? Oh,
I
him.
can toss her a salute. Yeah.
Way more of a diplomat.
Technically, mission success. I think.
I think we incurred maybe a significant loss.
Well, yeah, we did find the fortress. We did neutralize any ability for anyone to teleport into it quite thoroughly.
Including ourselves, yeah.
Well, okay. Here, come on. We've got food for everybody. Mortier's team is back, and I think you'll want to hear from Mazia and Ruby as well. So,
yeah.
Sounds good.
Sure.
Most deaf.
you can go first if you like. But there's near the shoreline, there's rows of tables set up, and while you were talking, several of the commission chefs have laid out a pretty huge meal for everyone.
That's awesome. We haven't had that good of a meal in a long time.
For sure.
Lucent says, "You can thank Kimmick for this one. He and his team make excellent. They're very good at hunting around these parts."
They've been living here for quite a while. Makes sense.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Indeed.
So if since you said I could go first, I think the first thing that we want to report is that we believe we met the being responsible for the cold nature of the region to the south. It's an elemental.
Quite a large
Windy
one.
guy you were talking about.
We've taken to calling him Benny.
Yeah, his real name was like the jet that streams through the mountains or something like that, I believe.
Yep. So we call him Benny the Jetstream.
He actually, I can't say that he's our enemy per se, but he did declare himself our rival and demanded that we fight him. Which I guess we did to a draw, technically. But the castle that we found was destroyed in the process.
Quite thoroughly.
Quite thoroughly. But we did
says-
seem to part on good terms. I suggested to him that he perhaps test his mettle against that volcano in the south. So, we might expect some steam on the horizon in the future.
Good distraction, though. Probably bide us a little time. Likewise, there are other elementals in the area that wish for us to perhaps fight him again.
We
And
actually
those
did
same
kind of
elementals
commit to
wanted
that.
to warn us away from the tower.
Yeah, but, you know.
Yeah, we do kind of owe Benny a fight, I guess. I mean, at a bare minimum, Alvis does, but it seems rude to throw him in there alone.
I
Frigid
appreciate that.
says,
One
I'm
moment.
familiar with the type. Well, if you need my approval to go fight this creature again, then just don't get killed doing it. But it sounds like you know what you're doing.
I
And
was
if what you say
gonna-
is true, and he does want to freeze everything, then it would probably be in our best interest to make sure you do that whenever he asks you to.
I'm
Indeed.
hopeful we can turn him into an ally when we fight the tower. But, yep,
If not,
we're going to need allies, guys.
yeah,
Hello?
no, absolutely.
Thank you, Grant.
If not, I figure perhaps we could talk to Decus about some means of subduing him.
Thank you.
It says, well, that really depends. If he's a elemental born here, I can't
He is.
exactly.
He is. He
banish
said he
him.
was.
Well, there you go. Might be able to seal him away somewhere best if we really need to, but imprisoning an air elemental is not a good way to make friends.
No.
Indeed.
Plus, he's a combative type. He wants rivals. He wants a good, fair fight. He is lawful. When he lost the last fight, he sat in that jail cell, even though he could break it open at any moment, waiting for Arcturus to come back around, to do the next round. He sat there for we don't even know for how long.
Yeah, months at least.
At least.
He is a lawful being.
So, I mean, we might be able to use something with that in terms of his nature and working with that. He is lawful.
Yeah, if we beat him, maybe we can beat him like to some terms. We can be like, all right, it's time for our next battle. This time,
Yep.
if we do this, if we win, you do this. If you win, we do that. Maybe we set some terms. And if it's
Yeah,
lawful,
exactly.
he's gonna follow him, right?
That's a cunning idea. I like it.
Likewise, on a lesser note of discovery, we have confirmed that this land is inhabited by larger beasts. Do with that knowledge what you would. I would suggest if we had some careful planners and hunters in the expedition, that perhaps some planned hunts of the megafauna there for supplies might be in order, but that's not for
It is no
now.
joke, megafauna.
Exactly.
Mega.
Likewise, it was confirmed that most of the natural resources and or treasure that could be gathered from the place, any artifacts from the Veshan Empire worth a dragon's value, that has probably been taken from the lands down there.
That's not terribly surprising.
Absolutely not. But the elementals that I spoke of before, the lesser ones, not Benny, they confirmed having watched generations of kobolds. Work in the mountain. Sorry, I needed some water desperately.
Here you go.
It was a weird pause.
Please, yes, Albustabber, make sure you chew your food before talking. We don't want you to chew.
But I would definitely be interested. Like, for instance, we could get somebody a little bit more tactically minded than a good hunter. Figure out how we could pursue, like, the giant turtle that we almost nested on. The shell alone, that would be really useful.
Right, but how would you transport it? I mean, hello?
Once it's hollowed out, it's really easy to transport.
Only if you're going downhill.
You could roll it.
Well, we'll have to make some arrangements. We've only got so many obelisks on hand at the moment. But I would like to send some people down there to keep an eye on the area at the very least, and then we can think about utilizing it.
Make sure that they're experienced outdoorsmen. That is not a place to be trifled with.
Yeah, I agree.
And the teleportation circle gone?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Kaput.
Demolished.
We have a copy of what it did look like.
Dex says,
we did write it down.
Do us much good if you really broke it.
Yeah, that wasn't the original.
Well, we did write down the runes, so we know the address.
Oh, well, it just means one more back door that we don't have to worry about.
Exactly.
One that Vashta was very well aware of. They had, I don't know if we confirmed this while Lucent, you were here, but Vashta didn't necessarily make an appearance, but his voice made an appearance via magic mouth. He offered us good tidings and healed us. He said that his bet played off if we are here picking from the ruins of his brother's tower, or his brother's endeavors, something like that.
So he is a traitor. Perfect. In our favor, I mean.
Yes and no. I mean, it's absolutely good in the fact of our war with the dragons, but also not so good because he could potentially come back and play his games again.
Yeah, I was hoping to turn Vashta into an ally, but that does not seem to be what's happening.
If he does come back, he doesn't have any friends here of his old kingdom. So
I look around. Kimmick is here, but he's smart enough and of the up and up.
Yeah, I would friends. Yeah.
I would honestly be afraid more of the impact his presence might have on Kimmick's folk. I don't know. I just feel perhaps some of them might feel obligated to return to a more familiar way of life. It might be in our best interest if we could help establish the kobolds as best we can before he's allowed to make any moves.
Yeah, we'll make sure we're ready.
Make sure they're ready. I look over to Kimmick, whatever he's doing. I'm not trying to get his attention, but, he seems to have taken a voice or a step forward for all these people.
He's kind of become the clan boss at this point.
Yeah.
They follow him and they respect him, and he's been able to make a lot of the decisions for them around, the things that you guys are all doing.
Yeah, we should at least maybe push Kimmick towards more administration, smarten him up a little bit.
Well, if he's acquiring a leadership role within the kobolds, that's great. But maybe, more of a leadership role outside of the kobolds, so that if ever he was put in a place of having to choose, he would find value, not just in leading kobolds, but in also being a real part of the community here.
Well, exactly. Montlarin, you've already agreed that the kobolds should have a place in this land once it is an established what did you call it of the empire? Province of the empire. If that's the case, I think we should start indoctrinating. There might be a better word, educating Kimmik of some of the responsibilities that he might have once the province has been made more official.
Absolutely. If they're returning to the mountain, that makes him a de facto mayor at bare minimum, right?
Yeah, first
This-
things first, we've got to make sure they've got homes besides just these little huts around here.
The sooner the better. But likewise, even the stuff that may not seem necessary and more like a game for civilized folk, we should give him some legalese to
Yeah,
fight back against Vashta's influence.
I agree.
Fair point.
Yeah, that does conclude our report, though. Despite the length of the trip, most everything happened in a single day.
Kuromizawa says from the other table, "Great, then, my turn." Our turn. Okay,
I
everybody.
lean forward, listening.
First things first. Angela, you were following those huge butterflies, as big as a wagon, that we found. We were poking around the edge of the desert, up near the grasslands, where you all found those big crabby things. Now, obviously, he pats himself on the chest. We're wearing our Veshin garb to make sure we can get around safe. But we slipped into a pit. Mud. Almost a vortex. Down into a dark cave. Lulu says, "It's like it just opened up beneath us. We weren't even ready for it. And then when we got down there, it was like going down some kind of slide for hundreds of feet. And then we were completely filthy. And we saw one of those golems. It oozed right up out of the ground, and Sharp says, seems like they don't take crystalline form until they actually get to the surface. Because that thing lurched across the ground of the cavern. And without our icons visible, we had to make do with fending it off until we could get ourselves clean. So, Kuro says, we had to kill it. And then by the time we got all cleaned up, like 5 more of them showed up. And we had to try to dig ourselves out of there without getting filthy again, while a couple of us held them off by pretending to be Veshin, and we found a way up, and it was a whole mess. We marked it down. There's, put that spot off limits. I don't think we want to put an obelisk there.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then it's Ruby and Mazia's turn. They had gone to check up on
Gemery, right?
Of Gemery, yes. So seated on the table, amidst the feast. They go on. Mazia says, "Well, we flew all the way out there and followed around some of those weird blue women for a while." Ruby says, even though they didn't have heads, they were acting just like people, doing chores and chopping firewood. We were invisible for a while. But they seemed really nice. And I thought it was kind of mean to just listen in on them the whole time, like a spying spider. So I flew up to one and said hi, and then we were talking for a little bit, and they seemed pretty normal, even though they don't have a head. And then one came up from behind me and got me in a jar.
What?
Wow.
They put you in a jar?
They put him in a jar.
That's terrible.
But obviously you got out.
I was able to slap their hands away long enough for the jar to shatter, and we escaped, yes. But there was no jar. She clasped her hands around him, and it was like there was an invisible force. He says, and I know it was a jar because I tasted glass. I bumped my nose against it.
Huh.
So it's not like it was a magic spell. I really felt it.
Maybe she was summoning the jar.
She says she had to be doing something. She had to be making a real jar out of nothing, and that was everywhere. The wood chopping, the cooking, the wheelbarrowing. Everywhere they were doing something with nothing.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
I don't think it's nothing. This might confirm it. If this
Are they
is
reaching through the veil?
yeah, not just the veil. No, I think they're maybe it's small, but maybe they're using the Redshift.
That's what I mean.
Yep.
They're working on the other side of the Redshift.
Yeah, this is.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if the librarian, if she is able to do all of this, right? If that assumption is correct, then what is a proxy able to do with merely the power of belief and the less than caring entity that is the Redshift, allowing it to go about its day?
That really does lean the idea that they could actually provide us real physical aid in some sort of way if we're able to convince them.
But
Yeah.
likewise,
I don't know how we'd guarantee
Well-
their loyalty, though.
it could prove as evidence.
While you were there, did you hear them talking about a parade or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, Ruby says. They sounded really excited about some kind of parade that was happening soon. And everybody was running around getting supplies ready and talking about how the proxy is gonna, send them all off soon, and they were gonna have a big show about it. And I heard one say they were sorry they couldn't go all the way to the city, but they had to, do stuff at home.
If only we could have placed the eye on the city. I would like to see what would happen when the Redshift engulfs. I wonder if it's replaying the last few weeks or moments before the Redshift happened, filling in the gaps.
Yeah, that was definitely our impression last time. It seems like our visit is not part of their loop.
I wonder if
it's not like we asked them about it.
I wonder if we design and have somebody wear a like a session general's outfit. We could potentially get them to take orders from us during this time that the proxy is disconnected from the secretary.
How's your accent? You'll have to get Arisa to teach you.
Yes, we will.
Likewise.
Do we know what the outfit looks like?
I lean forward and I say, well, I am a royal knight.
Ah.
I figured it would be you.
Lulu says, I mean, Mon, you look like it, but I mean, what if they ask you about like the things that a noble should know?
That's where Arista's help will come in.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I've been gathering a lot of historical artifacts and such. There's not a lot that we know about the Veshan Empire, yet alone like what a general looks like.
Yeah, though at a bare minimum, the implication here is probably that the gambit we used last time will work again. So we do have an opportunity to get in there and do something.
True. Likewise,
yeah, it sounds like what we thought before. They were on an endless loop. The loop is still running.
Exactly.
Well, that's why I want to see what we can do to circumvent it.
And if they have some level of control over the Redshift, then the thing most important would be to either determine the extent of that control or determine what might cause them to use it.
Exactly. That might give us some information on how to deal with the librarian if they are the one causing this.
Right.
Well, those are the updates for this week. Everybody has gotten back home. And stock of things is that your obelisk that will be delivered to the keep that you discovered is here in All Saints this week. Dex and whichever team decides to help him will have to go bring it and set it up. And that's top priority. It's keeping both sides of the gate safe.
Yep.
Brigadier says, we'll have to prepare several more obelisks, but there are a few places here and there where we want to make sure we can have some outposts. We want to make sure we don't spread the commission too thin now, but without the threat of a dragon looming over us, I feel safer putting people out around the outskirts.
You said, I keep telling you, we ought to stop or start letting in refugees. Or not refugees. What the fuck do you call those people who try to...
Mercenaries?
No. People who want to come and settle a new place.
Pioneers?
Settlers. Pioneers.
Pioneers, okay.
Well,
Pioneers was the word I was looking for.
we have been allowing some tourists to hike around the western edges of the zone, and that's gone over well enough with some daredevils.
I hope you're charging them quite a lot and using that money to build up the infrastructure.
How do you think we got 2 obelisks ready to go?
Glad to hear it. Just making sure that was what's going on.
No. I mean craftsmen. I mean people to build. Like, I like what we have here, but
tradesfolk.
We need
sure enough. Also, I'm a little concerned. Do you screen these tourists? Are any of them looking for a chink in our armor, some way to sneak in and maybe, capitalize on the Redshift on their own?
Unless they get killed by the Redshift because they're dumb.
Sure, but that only happens so many times before somebody figures that shit out too, and then we're just blind eye to them robbing us.
Fair.
Captain Nines at Fort Maricus is a very fastidious person when it comes to looking people in the eye and
speaking of eyes, not everyone has a beholder on their team.
Stripping them clean. I trust his judgment when it comes to these people, and the obelisks back on the old bases are very well protected at all times. So
sure enough.
Yes, we're being careful, but that is a good point. That
I'm pretty sure my guild can provide you with that. Women.
Your guild might also be supplying people who are trying to backdoor us, without even you
trying to get information so they can sell it.
That's exactly what I mean. But without even you knowing, they wouldn't want you to know.
Right.
You're their feed.
I don't care if somebody wants to sell information about what goes on in the Redshift zone. That's fine.
Artifacts.
That's not our goal. Our job here is to make sure the Redshift goes away.
Yes.
The smugglers in question, hypothetically, would
obviously
be a problem if they're using the Redshift to help their smuggling.
Obviously, we're not running any tours to the Dragon's Lair, and nor to Grandmother's Grove, nor particularly far past Orbis. So, the places we're allowing people to roam are pretty well cleared and relatively settled. But yes, I do agree that we could use more of a labor force, especially as we're expanding east and still, even so, we shouldn't let ourselves get too distracted, because reaching the tower, getting in there, completing
that's the goal.
our quest. I mean, if we do that, then the Empire will have all the time in the world to send as many people to this land as they wish.
That is the goal.
I merely think we need to find a balance between how many people we let in and can handle while not getting distracted, as you say, by the goal.
Yes.
Because it's the labors of those people that we delegate tasks to that helps us pay attention towards that goal.
You're very right.
I've seen some of the wild fish that you can get at Maricus. I think fishing at Fort Maricus could be a good tourist attraction or raise some more money.
And be relatively safe.
Oh, we could bring them out into the bay, even. If they want to go that far.
Well, let's make sure it isn't being overwhelmed, yes, by Benny the Jetstream.
Yeah.
Right, we will have to watch out for that, won't we?
If we show up, is he going to go, Warriors.
Right. Oh, it's
I'll-
time.
I'll put out a bulletin for everybody if they find a talking breeze to send them your way.
Talking breeze.
Right.
How wide was Benny when he was doing his raging cyclone thing?
About 100 feet. Cyclone.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
That's about everybody's reports.
Oh, we mentioned about the drakes, right? And the ice cubes.
You did.
All right.
The evening continues, and everybody around the tables and in the city swap stories. The mood is just about jovial. Really? You can spend the night doing whatever you want, and then finally, as you all eventually fall to slumber, amidst the sounds of kobolds fettering about town, the Redshift sweeps over all Saints, and you are protected by your obelisk as always. You'll have 8 days to rest.
Oh, sick.
And all 5 of you each, for your adventures, gain 6,400 XP.
Hot damn.
So make sure you add that up now.
I was at 0, so I have 6,400.
6,000 what?
6,400. You were at 0 XP, Naya?
No, I was 0 XP for level 10 going into level 11.
That is not how that works. It stacks with your previous XP. Did it get deleted?
I don't know. I'm
Oh
not sure.
God.
Oh,
Do you
No, it
you all
says I have
have your-
85,000.
do you all have your XP values on your character sheets?
yeah, I do.
I'm gonna say, I think so. Is it?
Okay.
77,466 plus what number?
That sounds about right.
6,400. I'm at
Yeah.
83,512 after adding the
Ah.
batch.
All right, so
I'm at-
I had 85,000 points, and I add 6,400 to that.
No, 85,000 is your next level up. You were at some 77,000, it sounds like. So, Naya,
It was 0. Okay.
okay, that's really cool that Roll20 did that to your character sheet. Because I'm assuming that's what happened. Anybody who currently has a fucking 0 in their XP value, go ahead and match Montlaurent with an 83,512.
83,512 is after the 6,400.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am so.
I had 78. I'm
so
actually at
blue-balled.
84,966.
Yeah,
I did the
I'm
math
at
right.
84,966. I am so blue balled. I like 44. Is there anything I can do? It's worth 44 XP.
No.
I am
No.
also at 83,866.
Organize a Kobold Fight Club.
So Mont
Yeah.
and I have 83,512. We're the
Can I
last.
organize
Really?
a
Why are we the
Kobold
last?
Fight Club.
I don't know. I actually thought Montlaurent was.
No, I'm not. I did not level.
I-
83,866.
Yeah, I must have missed adding XP at some point because I was ahead of everybody else before.
Okay, you guys. So this brings something to mind that I've bandied about at the studio lately.
Yeah.
And I say, tabletop AD&D is not a progression fantasy, and people around me are like, no, I think you're wrong. And I'm like, no. And the reason why is because when you defeat the Great Lord and you recover the Golden Crown and you're walking back into town and everyone's like, yes, you did it. You defeated the Dark Lord and you have the Golden Crown, right? No one in your party goes, is there a dog? Is there a dog or a pig? Or... I just want to kill it real quick. I mean, I just need
Somebody teach me a language.
Right? I just need a couple more XP to level, man. There's a dog. I kill it. I kill the dog. Really? In the parade as you enter town, the dog, right? And you killed it. What's my XP? Did I level?
Can I organize a goblin, or not a goblin, a kobold fight club?
No, we don't grind XP.
Kill some prisoners.
Sorry.
Can I do chores for Decus in the 8 days?
Right? I'm gonna pause.
You can. It's worth 0 XP. No, well, see, the funny thing is, you would think, based on how people talk about experience points on Reddit, that because we are using experience points, that you guys do come home and try to find a dog to kill.
Right.
Well, it's just weird that none of us have not been here. We either shut down or we're all here. So why do we have different numbers?
No, because sometimes
because we're human beings.
Yeah.
Well, and also sometimes we've gotten bonus XP from Serb.
Yeah, there's stuff we've done other players didn't do, and then there's times when one of us isn't there, but the rest of them.
No.
Yeah, I thought
in
we
terms
normalized
of recently,
at 10, though. Like I thought we were all
Yeah, nobody has been missing for the last 9 months.
Yeah, okay. Tell you what, if you all want to normalize at if you all want to normalize at 84,966 right now, you can.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, so we're just that short of leveling. Okay.
Just a high five Serb on this. This is an ongoing Reddit argument that I think will never end, and that is, do you want to do milestone experience or what's the other fucking word? Incremental experience or milestone experience? And there's it will never end. This argument just goes around and around and around.
Well, that's because the answer is both, obviously.
Well, it sort of is, but again, you never want to incentivize. Wait, is there a dog?
Yeah, and then the way you don't incentivize that is that you play with people who actually want to play D&D.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if they're like, I killed a dog, you go, yeah, great. You just fucking murdered a dog, you asshole, in front of the whole fucking town. You don't get any XP for that. This isn't a fucking video game.
We're derailing here, but that's fine. The reason I hate story-based advancement is because of personal experience with some of the published modules. There was one time in Curse of Strahd where we had a really, really hard fight because we did it a little bit early, and
that familiar.
I was going to say that was the hags in the town
and the vampires in the town.
Oh no, for us it was the binary.
Oh, nice.
So we did that a little bit early, and obviously that was a milestone, so we got a level up from it. The Wolf Cave we did way later than we were supposed to, so it was a complete cakewalk. And I think we did it the same session after we had gained a level, and the Wolf
Cave you got nothing?
Was a milestone in the book.
So
we also got a level.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it was like comparative, like we had barely gotten time to even enjoy the level we had just gotten. Right?
Right. Yeah.
Even worse.
Right up.
Tyranny of Dragons. There's a point in Tyranny of Dragons, and I don't care to spoil it live on stream because this adventure sucks. Don't play it.
This is our show. Go ahead.
Tyranny of Dragons. There's a point where you go to a council, and they're like, "All right, the dragons are super bad. We need you to teleport to Thay and ask the Red Wizards for help."
Okay, wait. First,
what the
red flag on the play. as an old school fucking AD&D'er, the fucking lean into Fae that the movie and all this, like, my God, fuck yourselves, stop. They're supposed to be like, they wouldn't even talk to you anyway. You'd be dead before you, like,
Okay, so let me tell you what happened when we got there. So we
symbolic, please.
Yeah, no, we go there and we're like, all right, we know you guys are assholes, but there's some dragons and Tiamat's gonna blow
The
up
worst
the whole
assholes in the entirety of the Forgotten Realms.
Tiamat's gonna kill all of us. So what do you say we form a truce for a little bit so we can kill this dragon god? And basically, like we teleport in, we sit down for dinner with them, we like make the play, we make the gambit, and that goes great. Well, we're playing. Obviously, we're like a good neutral, lawful good neutral good party. We're the heroes. We've been assigned by
fucking Deserts of Thay. Good luck.
Yeah, we've been assigned by like the Neverwinter.
It would have been a rad movie.
And the wizards were like, we will consider it. Go to your rooms and sleep. And so we went to our rooms and slept, and then we got tortured in our dreams.
Right, I was going to say, and woke up other people entirely.
No, well, we got tortured in our dreams, but the thing about the torture was that we weren't lying to these people at all, so while they were torturing us, we were just telling them the truth, and they were like, that's not good enough, and then they kept torturing us, because that's what it says to do in the book, to the player.
Right, I was going to say, that's bad storytelling with the Red Wizard. They would immediately recognize that you were absolutely truthful and be like, okay, we can use this some other way. And
then I guess we didn't say the correct things to them while we were being tortured. So we woke up, and I guess the book says that after the torture, you don't remember being tortured in your dreams. So none of us had any information that happened, and then we went to meet with them again, and they were like, "Sorry, we decided not to help you. Bye, go home."
Wait, the module says give the player a bunch of information and then tell them that they can't use it?
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me, though.
Yeah.
No, okay. Here's the best part of the module. They tell us to fuck off, and we're like, dang, I guess we failed. Let's go back home and tell them that we didn't make this alliance.
Right.
And so we leave, and then
you are pursued.
No. My DM, who again, this is not his fault because he was literally just like pulling it out of the fucking book, because the game was Milestone, and I have to mention that we had leveled up upon arriving at the council in Neverwinter. So we leveled up because that was a milestone. Then we went to Thay. This took like half of a session, and we didn't do anything. And we came back from Thay, and the book says, "Hey, that was a milestone. You level up."
Dude, I feel like that is like
no, man, you traveled the plains, you get a level.
Hold on. No, you did not. Thay is part of the fucking realm.
No, yeah, we just
AINS.
Oh, yeah. This requires its own show. I'm not going to divert. I'm not going to, take away from our game anymore.
Oh, we can talk a bit because I'm going to give you guys your long rest. Everybody hit the long rest button if you didn't.
Already did.
And we can make plans and stuff for what you guys are going to do next time. But we're kind of at the end of gameplay for the session.
Where's Keen though? Yeah. I want to know where Keen is.
Oh, yeah. I actually completely forgot that you weren't with Keen. Because she was getting her mithril legs, right?
Yeah. Fucking spring steel, or better.
They're done now.
Holy shit! Soon, Keen's gonna be like the most. Like we all show up.
She's gonna be the $6 million, whatever she is.
Right, for sure. But moreover,
she's
worth more than all of your organs combined.
Right. They're going to describe us as this creature and all of the easily described people around her.
I
mean,
he's gonna be. Alvis, we said this is going to increase her speed by 10 feet, I believe.
Something like that, yeah. And then she gets what was it? Kick or something?
That was for the adamantine attack.
Yeah, okay.
The
Okay.
claws, right? And those were coming later.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So she's going to no, she has the adamantine claws. Let's give her the burrowing speed.
Oh yeah, no, that gave her the burrowing speed. No, so this was gonna give her what was it? I wanted it was
Wasn't it stealthiness you were going for?
no, it was
No,
speed.
it was another 10 feet of speed, yeah. So she's
Yeah.
at 60 now.
Wanted her to be faster
Nice.
Here, I
dude.
went and I updated the stat block for you.
because I kind of wanted to be more mobile, more survivable.
Yeah, you're going very fast. You're going to Baxi Monk speed by now. But yeah, sleek, new, like obviously more like silver sheen than the rest of her body. The claw tips have been articulated a bit more. Like previously, they were just kind of like big, thick pads, but now she has proper like flexibility in them, so she can use those claws a little bit more effectively.
Fantastic. Oh yeah, and
Smithy says when he's presenting her to you, he says, "I know you want to get her a moving jaw soon, so that'll have to be next on the list, won't it?"
fantastic. I mean, it'll just make the light that I installed in her mouth more useful. Right now, it's
Yeah.
just for effect, but once we get that mouth open, it'll be like a spotlight and line the inside with something reflective. Maybe just paint it.
And she bounds up to you and headbutts you.
Fantastic. You look so pretty. I missed you so much. I was so
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah, it would have been pretty helpful.
But yeah, she either would have been really helpful in the snow or really bogged down because she's heavy.
Yeah, definitely one or the other.
She's warm though, isn't she?
A little bit.
Yeah, but it's like if she can warm snow as she's moving through it, that's slush. She get bogged in slush.
Right.
Well, then tug her along with the rope.
She's at least pretty comfy to sleep next to at night. Miniature furnace.
Totally. Like a tent.
Very, very insulated. Why does it say 77 out of 81 when I healed all 81?
It says 81 out of 81 for me.
Oh well.
On your token at least. I'll make sure to fix all the tokens yet again before next game. If any of you have any inventory management that you want to do, now's a great time to do it before heading out on the next task.
Oh yeah, like deleting out all the extra bullshit that was there.
Yeah, delete that extra bullshit at the bottom of your list. That's a good idea. That was added there for unknown reasons. Double check your encumbrance and everything. Make sure you've actually got the stuff that you want to carry. Belt components and whatnot. All easy stuff. And like I said earlier, you've got 8 days of the Redshift before it will clear up this time.
All right.
Why so long?
Because
Just cause?
That's actually on the shorter side. They're usually a little bit longer than that.
Oh, okay.
So I had all my ones, a 2, a 3, and both of my 5s Probably wouldn't have time to make a level 5 scroll because I think that takes like weeks or months.
Yeah, that's a few weeks of work, right?
Yeah, but I could probably squeeze out some level 1 and 2 scrolls, maybe a level 3 as well. Do you remember what the hours were on those?
Level 3 is 5 days. Level 2 is 3, and level 1 is 1.
Okay.
So you could do a 2 and a 3 if you wanted.
2 and a 3. Yeah.
And yeah, fourth is 10 days.
Yeah, that would be too long. Probably wouldn't be
Just
a bet.
drop the list that you're gonna do in the chat. So that we have it recorded for later.
Thinking. Can anybody else cast fly, or am I the only one who can cast it?
I think you're the only one.
Yeah, I can't. That's fine.
Let's see, how am I doing on my other scrolls right now?
Oh,
I should probably do one fly and then probably 3 mage armors.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Increase my mage armors 4, and we'll. Do you want to add the scroll of fly, or I can just?
You could do it.
It
I think if you just copy the mage armor one if you can.
I already have mage armor. I just incremented it from or increased it from 1 to 4 because I still had 1 remaining.
Cool. So Nimbus will spend his time scribing.
I will see if there's any kobolds who are interested in the arcane and developing some skills in arcana, and invite them to
That's a good idea.
watch the process and kind of explain it as I go along.
Guza is he's has some arcane talent. So he'll definitely join.
Fantastic.
How have the children been? Naya wants to spend some time with the kids.
They're great.
And Ruby.
They're mostly running around. Aside from occasionally going swimming and hanging out in the sun atop the giant flower bed. When they're doing work, they're usually finding spots around the city that look like they could support plant life, and either dropping a handful of seeds and helping them grow, or just helping whatever is there. So in the alleyways between buildings, even in the cracks and in the road flagstones, they're just trying to get grasses and shrubs to pop up here and there.
That's awesome.
So they've kind of taken to like patrolling the city streets, just looking for good spots to do it. Working
But
on
they're thriving. I mean, grandmother would be pleased.
Yeah. They.
Okay, good.
Kusama tells you, like, during you following them around, they basically tell you, like, it's It's a lot of work. But
Yes.
there's so much
A lot
that
of
we can
reward.
do.
Yeah. It's very rewarding work. Get to see new life sprout.
And everybody seems happy about it.
Very good. Has there been any sign of Vashta? Flying
Not-
overhead or anything?
No. Nobody's seen shiny head nor tail of the half of Frigid.
Has there been any word of the princes who headed back that left?
Yes. They did make it to the capital city of Fon-Lure and caused a bit of a ruckus when they arrived. Now, this is a city that is used to having Captain Van flying around it, so it wasn't quite complete chaos. But the arrival of the two half-dragons, who have to this point been a little bit infamous in the region, has set the papers ablaze all across the country with these two freakish men out seemingly turning over a new leaf for one reason or another, known only to them and to you.
Well, I'm not sure we even know, really.
And walking up
I'm glad to
main-
hear that they made it. That's good.
Yeah, walking up the layered stairs up to Main Street, up to the Academy of Metanatural Sciences, where they apparently nobody there was prepared for them to arrive, but they had a letter from Dex.
Aha! Very good.
That's
I didn't
the
know
news.
that he wrote the letter. Did you guys?
Yeah. He did.
Awesome.
Make
Okay.
a point of letting you know that he was giving them a good word so that they'd be able to find a place to stay and maybe some work to do. And I know Albus gave them a letter for the club as well.
I did, in fact.
Very cool.
They should not only have a place to learn, but then a place to apply trade.
So yeah, things are a little crazy in the capital this week. And who knows what kind of stories Zorimos will be telling people about you.
Oh yeah, interesting.
That's okay.
I mean, to counter, our propaganda.
Yeah,
Or-
or maybe inflate the legend.
Right. We heard earlier tonight, we all have simps, right?
I mean, who knew? I doesn't do stuff like that at all.
I'm interested in tapping into the songs that the simps of me write.
No, yeah, any like letter that is addressed to like my future wife expeditionist is just like,
Oh my god.
Instantly incinerated. They just throw them in the fire. No, there's so much material I could be stealing. I mean, riffing off of.
Uh-huh. It makes Naya think that maybe one of these days word will get back to her family, but it's a long, long ways away from the capital.
I would have asked them to save all of my mail in boxes somewhere at Maracus, and I'll pick them up on the way out.
I would love to see my fan mail. I feel like it would bolster my stats. Ego boost +3, something like that. Inspiration. Wouldn't I get inspiration on every? I just save a whole stack of fan mail, and anytime I was going to do something sketchy, I'd read one. Inspiration. Do my rolls.
You mean we have fan mail? Oh my god, no, that never occurred to me.
I mean, that's
Well,
what he
like-
said. He said Simps for all of us. That means there's absolutely I love you, Naya mail.
It's just
Huh.
usually burned before you get it.
Well, there's a level of protection that you could opt into if you so desired, to have these things, at least the obvious ones, identified and removed before you need to see them. But if you'd prefer to have them, I mean, you can, have letters and
Do
I
with them what
know,
you will.
Albus Tower. Obviously, you're in regular communication with the guild.
I'd stuff my mattress with him. If
I think I think Naya would like to kind of have some idea of what kind of mail she's getting, but also she would want to be on the lookout for any mail from family or from her circle.
You've
I mean, I
never
don't
had
know
any mail from your family.
Okay.
Story
You
time.
haven't had mail from your circle directly, but you have had like scraps of news from where your circle works occasionally. Just like there was a druid spotted here, like saving people from a wildfire and that kind of thing.
All right. I mean, she would have made friends with some of the dwarves. She was there for 5 years.
Yeah.
So, but again, that's a really long way from here.
Did
It's
she have
going to
any
take.
good friends who she would have told like where she was going and that would have wanted to send letters to her and keep in communication?
Her teacher.
We've never really.
No, we haven't.
Okay.
But I could probably come up with something. But I do have her teacher, and she's my backup character if Naya dies. So I do have a name and.
Aw, we're not gonna let Naya die. What the fuck, dude?
Well,
we've had a couple of dicey fights. So as we head to the tower, that's always more and more possible. So
Yeah.
I do have a second character in the works. She's all ready.
That's dope. Usually we ablate me before you.
Has Naya sent letters to her mentor?
I don't have an answer yet.
Well, that would probably determine whether you've gotten any back.
Right.
I mean, you've been here. You've been out here a few years, and you've
right. And I think I would have sent letters to her because some of these things are very druidically speaking, and that's in air quotes. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Then, yeah. I in that case, then definitely, like, word of your deeds must have gotten around to your people. Not your people, but your second people.
Well, but if you can imagine, I mean, given the scope on the map, that's still really far away. And it's probably only because that I'm actually writing to my teacher.
Exactly. Yeah, it's still a good few.
The gossip wouldn't have gotten there yet, I don't think. That's all the way on the western coast from here.
They do hear about the Redshift and like the events that are going on here, but yeah, it's something that's far away compared to the Cradian Empire around Kalaja, where this is like weekly news about
right.
Like, the things that are the things that are going on.
Things that are close to home. Yeah. Makes sense.
The death of Omnithobus, everybody thought he disappeared and like died somewhere or flew to a remote volcanic island like 250 years ago, but all of a sudden he's back and also he's dead.
Right.
I'm a dragon slayer.
That creature was a
wicked dragon slayer
a few centuries ago. And one day he just kind of vanished. So for those who are longer lived, seeing that name pop up again, and a bunch of these people have taken him down. is even more notoriety.
Ambergreen, probably not your bag, but like maybe to get some funds for your masterpiece about the Redshift, you could write a few papers on the end of Omniphosis, in order
Or
to
a song.
well,
Go ahead
or
and start
songs,
publishing
but
your
I mean,
stuff.
I know more than one bookworm who'd probably love your last of his life description.
Right. It would be notes. I would publish them as what do they call them? A chapter or a sheaf, right? Where you just have one whole set and you put them together and it's your notes. It's not the completed work. No. It is the muse. Yes, I could compose a piece like that for you. Yeah, I do believe. And then you could send it back to your archivists, I suppose you'd call them. I'm working on something for all of this story, but maybe you just only want one little chapter.
And Ambergreen, I assume that you've been receiving letters from your family here and there too, because
Is my family literate enough to send letters to where I am?
of course, yeah. Now, okay, we talked about this recently, didn't we? I asked where you were
I love
from.
that you laugh.
Yeah.
So my memory was I come from we're hill dwarves, right? We're like not even like underground dwelling dwarves. We're the sort that
Oh, right. Okay, I said you're probably Lyrian, which means you're from a little bit out west. You're
clay
from out.
dwarf.
Yes, exactly. You're from out west further than the Empire.
Right. That makes sense. You said we were rural. We were bumpkins.
Yeah, sat up near the edge of the old forest.
Wait, that's up near towards Naya?
The old forest is huge.
The old forest is huge, but
it's huge.
The old forest is what she walked past when she left home.
It's
we don't live in that forest. We live
Lyrial
outside of
is it's west of the Empire. It's east of Ilram, and not nearly as far north as your homeland.
Okay.
There's
right.
You are the northerlymost people on this continent.
All right.
But we lived outside of the forest in those hills there because I was a shepherd of actual.
Yeah, exactly. So, when you got when you got your calling, that was your muse speaking out to you to travel here and get this. Luckily, hear about this news of this commission and make it all the way here. But I mean, yeah, it's not too far to send a letter back to your family. So I assume it's been happening back and forth now and then. If you wanted to,
I would send them a letter. I guess maybe like yes, I'm still following my dream, etc. I would be surprised though if my family were articulate enough to both put words on paper and then also send them to me. I feel like that's like wow, that's reaching, and I didn't know they were that skilled. And I would be excited to get a letter from them and be like, what? My parents sent me a letter and it made it all the way here? Wow. Huh. And so, yeah, certainly I would write them a letter back.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say unless you had a specific reason otherwise, they'd definitely be literate at least. But yeah
they're not entirely stupid. They're just, country.
Yeah, the fact that they were able to, like, get a postman to carry it that distance.
That's the real thing I'm talking about too. Not to disrespect them for being country, because I was country until I left. But is there infrastructure where they could just get a letter and then send a letter?
It would have to be through like independent messengers, right? Like somebody passing through the little village.
Yeah, but it's also quite true that there would be traveling tinkers and traveling messengers and people who just travel. Hey, are you going in this direction? Could you take a letter?
Yeah.
Wow,
that's really common for how things. That's how it happened. 2,000 years ago. It's not like there was a mail.
Too, yeah.
Such trust, but yes, okay, sure enough.
That's what the wax seal's all about.
Yeah,
I suppose. And the cash on delivery.
If we're all talking about letters, have I gotten any report back to some of my big requests?
Which big request specifically?
Uh, if I remember correctly, uh, shit, I actually might have made notes on this. I asked for means and sponsorship to claim holdings for the guild with Sharp, and then run my own umbrella agency under Vim and Vigor.
And that was a few months ago now, right?
Yeah, that was a few months ago. I gave strong reasons why not only Sharp would like to enjoy this endeavor with me, but also why it would be good for not only the guild, but also for the new province that is being declared by nobles in the court, sort of playing off what Montlarin is doing with his connections and maybe pull as a noble person, quote,
From
quote.
your overseer, the information that you would have gotten back by now is basically that um, you'd have tentative approval to create your own agency. Conditional on the completion of your overall, the commission's mission. But you have approval to start like laying the pieces now for it, and then the kind of assumption is that like your agency will continue helping you up until the point where you no longer need them.
Yep, that's exactly
And then
how.
you will be expected to take control of organization in this region.
Yep. Likewise, in this letter, I would be clarifying that I'm assuming that's when I would take upon further guild responsibilities and rights. And then I would say my first request for laying the foundations of this new agency would be to request Sharp be transferred to said new agency for the means of same exact actual reason why he's being used by his current agent. I forgot what her name was. I remember it's her, Apose. But because I believe his talents would be better utilized here rather
Closely
than
organized. Yeah.
yeah. Here rather than back within the empire.
That particular request might take a little bit more doing. Alcoze is kind of spicy, and
I would be willing to open up communications. I don't know how she would do that. You know, she could send a letter out here, but I could do some work if they have interests in this area as well. Sort of taking on the first responsibilities, or what is it?
well, really, what you've learned is that this woman is the type of person who enjoys poaching other people, and she does not enjoy having her people poached
Right.
from her.
So she's doing, oh, what did they call it? Territorial empowerment or something. I can't remember what it was called in corporate America.
I mean, you heard, Alvis Tarver, you've heard probably from Sharp himself that Alcoze almost got her claws in one of the bodyguards for the Koter and Kami a few months ago.
Knowing this, I would is the word enumerate. I would put emphasis on the people and the the people who I've sent over here with recommendations and letters, and how I could direct said people straight to Alcoze for this one person.
Okay, so we're thinking about maybe like promising Prince Ia in in exchange for this other hostage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
basically.
the promise would most likely be other agencies within the empire that are close to Vim and Vigor, and this new agency will make endeavors not to act on this as a contact, giving her the opportunity to do so instead.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. That's been your latest communication out, and
Yeah, the letter would be merely a request,
Yeah.
maybe a couple of suggestions on how we could fulfill this exchange so it is not an outright poaching. I would ask Vim for communications with her specifically for this.
Cool. Okay.
And yeah. I am giddy. I'm happy.
Well, you're getting to poach. No wonder you shouldn't like it.
Lulu is
Sorry.
perhaps watching you write this letter over your shoulder.
Lulu?
Yeah.
Lucent or Lufeo? Lulu?
Lufael, yeah.
Yeah, hello. Are you perhaps interested in
Sorry, I'm not
Guildly
sure.
connections?
Sorry, I didn't mean to look if it was supposed to be secret. I swear I didn't see anything.
No, it's not supposed to be secret at all. And in fact, I would like to make guild affairs just a tad bit more public, and we're supposed to improve the culture abound and help those who are, or uplift those who are also around. What do you
okay.
think?
I was thinking it kind of sounds like everybody in your club doesn't really like each other very much.
No. See, the club.
Is
The
right.
club incentivizes sort of think of a kraken, and has many different arms. Certain studious fellows in my guild, or sponsored by my guild, have noted that each of those arms has a brain within it. Right now,
Wow, that's a lot like someone we all never mind.
think then, if each tentacle has a brain, and the brains work in some tandem with the main body of the organization or the entity, think of what growth could be done, what adaptations could be made, what knowledge can be had. The agencies of the guilds, like the one that hopefully with our success will be sponsored here, they work independently, like the brains of the octopus. There's a culture of friendly competition as well, and so that is turned into this sort of epic dance of bureaucracy. And he sort of waves his hand.
That's why you two are always, whispering to each other around corners and stuff where you think people can't see you.
Yes.
I mean, where we can't see you, yeah.
Yes.
Exactly that. Exactly. I whisper into Verde's ear.
Well, I mean,
Stop it!
No. How do I put this? The simplicity of adventuring and saving the people out here does very little to demonstrate the work that goes into putting forth the infrastructure needed to maintain the safety that people like you so easily claim for us, or so hardworkingly claim for us.
Verde is going into politics.
Right.
So
Yeah,
we whisper.
that makes sense. You want to be, you know, you want to keep it
learning to
all under
schmooze.
control when it's all done, right? Make sure
Exactly.
nobody can mess it all up again. I think that's a good idea.
Exactly. Lowest hanging fruit, right? I know of an adventurer that once killed a drake spawn, some kind of large dragon-like thing. Not a dragon, but close enough. Big lizard, right? He then left, right? Nobody, except for the townsfolk nearby, was there to clean up the big rotting corpse that then spread disease to those very same townsfolk. Right? Adventurers have their place, but they're definitely not the people who clean up. That's where the
So you
guild
want to be
comes
a
in.
janitor.
The guild does janitorial work, yes, but we also do what's the term? Sanatorial work as well. We like to keep things, you know, safe, like artifacts.
I guess that counts. We have cleaned up a lot of crap out here, and we've picked up a lot of stuff and sent it back to all the museums and whatnot.
Exactly. I actually plan to establish a interesting collective in a museum out here.
Yeah.
Would you like maybe a church? I need such lands and places here.
Well, Angela's the one you've got to ask about a church, but
Church.
A library?
Yes, better.
A study?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Many
hopefully we'll
things.
open a university here.
I would
Oh,
imagine
what a great
Lufail's
idea.
probably going to go back home after this.
what I really want to find out is these Veshans. They had a lot of really cool high-tech stuff, didn't they?
Oh
Sorts
yes.
of up at the manor, we got those little homunculi running again.
You know, after all this is said and done, and Alvastaver puts his little quill back into its ink pot, I could and would, in fact, love to just build a spot and pay you monthly, exorbitant amount of money to research this technology.
She's not usually lost for words.
In fact, as a
Right.
promise, as a promissory, Alvastaver rolls up his sleeves for a bit and takes off one of his golden Veshan bracelets, and he hands it to her and does that whole like double hand clasp thing and says, "You know, I've seen many artifacts out here, both mundane like this trinket, and not mundane like Keen, for
Like
instance, over
your
there."
mom.
And I think
When he does the salute, he like goes swirly, swirly, swirly.
I think in the hands of somebody like you, that technology could be put forth to do the very good that I would like to see be done.
Ask it.
Which is exactly why, and I sort of hush my voice down a little bit, Sharp and I like to keep quiet, is because though some of the things we do are sort of, gross, maybe, we handle things that need to be cleaned up. Other things are like technology that some
You
people might use
handle
to
things that
do
like butt.
harm with. I don't think you would do harm with this technology, which is why I would be more than happy.
He's going to be a hell of a politician. You know that?
So
Smarmy.
Hobby, right?
Gold
Oh my God.
to just research this technology and stay here with me.
She got her jaw up off the floor yet?
She says, she says, can you talk like that? Don't you normally flirt with the Brigadier? Is it okay for you to say all those things to me?
Hey,
Yes, I'm going to be working personally with the
it's
Brigadier.
not like pie.
The Brigadier thinks that she is going to receive retirement once this is over. In fact, I believe she might have put requests towards it, but I, knowing maybe a little bit about politics, knows that she's destined to at least a mayorship here or some sort of provisional role, which means that she and I are going to be working closely together in the near future.
Well, I mean, anyway, depending on what else we find out here, I definitely don't have any plans to leave anytime soon, even if we win. Plus, you know, if we can get into that tower, I'd really like to see what it's all about.
Absolutely, right?
And how many floors can that thing possibly have? It's probably going to take a whole lifetime to explore all of it if it's really that tall. So,
I think that's mostly an illusion, but we'll keep.
well, what? To look through.
But yeah, when we succeed, remember my name. There will be an agency.
Remember my name, motherfucker.
There will be an agency with an opening for whenever you want to research this technology. Perhaps.
I don't think I could
drop-
forget your name. Most people don't spell theirs with a colon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Drops his mass-produced Vistaprint card.
But no. Perhaps you have stuff you need to do once you get back to the Empire, but when you are ready, my agency will sponsor your research personally. Build a lab to your specifications personally. And we'll make sure that you're comfortable.
Personally.
She'll pick up the bangle and say, well, somebody's gotta. Well, recover everything that was lost, right? Might as well be us.
Exactly. I mean, we're the ones who can be trusted.
Yeah. Plus, that's the whole reason we're out here, right?
Most definitely. I found my calling out here.
Like this stuff.
I've grown to love this place.
I certainly am not at any loss for music inspiration, for sure. Musical. I should have said musical.
I know it's life and death all the time, really, and we totally almost died a few days ago over in that pit. But it is kind of fun, isn't it?
Oh, it's more than fun. This has been the jolliest dance of my life. Inspiration. Literally, I have found my calling out here. Before, I was just merely a student.
You sound just like those freaking dragons.
What?
Before, I was merely a student, and now, and I hold up the other letter I turn, now I have permission to start work on an agency that is going to help those kobolds. It's going to help any future colonists from the Empire. It's going to turn this province into the next capital. You mark my words.
Gentrify this place.
Okay.
I will play in the
words.
coffee shops right up until there aren't anymore.
There'll always be coffee shops at Alpha.
Yeah, but I won't play in a fucking Starbucks. Come on.
It's Grandtassels, you
All right, that was pretty good, Alva. That was terrible, but it was pretty good.
Oh, shit,
I
I'm
just
gonna
saw an
pop over to the Verdes.
opportunity and I ran with it. I'm like, wait, I get permission to have an agency and then Lufael's peeking over my shoulder. Very smart, young, impressionable.
Uh-huh.
In a whole other timeline, Lufael is actually Luffy, and he ate of the rubber tree.
I'm also very young, but I'm not like
The pirate
I'm
campaign is later. A few
Yeah.
years.
Thank you. Glad
I'm
you
more corporate.
cotton to what I was saying.
Nice. I'm working on getting sharp. Lulu is a good researcher. That's some good endeavors there.
Yeah, now that you've got your agency, you're going to have to think about how it's going to integrate into the local economy and government.
Exactly.
Once we get a government.
Yeah, speaking of that, any returns from my requests?
Which one of yours?
Well, I made kind of one request, but in a joint way. I asked for governorship of the area around All Sands with the purpose of establishing a university for studying the Redshift there.
That's right.
Yeah, that was the one that I was working off of. You remember we're making a provincialship. There's politics and apparently a noble. That's what all my letter was about.
You're going to have to attend the Empire in person to, like, fulfill this request.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Any way he could magically do it?
Well, the only
Can't I do this on a Zoom call?
Exactly.
the real thing that's up in question is Mont. It's a known element that you have a home on another plane.
Yeah, part of the offer is that I would be bending the knee to the Empire and staying.
Big.
Okay.
That is pretty big, actually, especially as a sales pitch.
This
A hollow
this might
offer
be
from him. He wants to stay here. Here's where we actually love him, and he knows that he has a place there. He's got this whole fucking family fucking deal.
Yep.
This
They really
might
kinda hate.
be behind the curtain a little bit, but
Spoilers.
the
I got
main
the
thing
insight.
the main thing that's going to be up for debate then is between people who think having a nobleman from another world bend the knee is a good, useful thing. You know, he has no other connections. He is famous and powerful at this point. Having him on our side instead of somebody else's seems pretty nice. Versus, well, but what if we send him back home and then we can, like, make an alliance with his people properly?
Well, yeah,
Because
but
he'd
that
be
argument's
able to
not
come
very
back.
good because you could just make the alliance with his people through him.
Well, yeah, that's like if he
I mean,
wants to
duh.
stay here. If he wants,
Yeah.
if he's staying here and he's giving up the chance to go home, then you know we're not talking to his people at that point.
Right,
Yeah,
but you could be if you ask.
That's not true because my intention is to resurrect Betram and send him home.
Okay.
Wow, really? Oh, have you really still want
I
to do
mean,
that?
you know, you
Yeah, of
still
course.
Gotta fix him.
you just
Or-
gotta
Oh my
ask.
God.
Literally my quest, man.
Yeah.
But I know, but it's so hard to like. We just do we even know where the parts are?
He's
Yeah.
got his body. The
Oh.
only reason you haven't done it yet is because you don't have a lot of materials for resurrections.
Right, we're saving them in case there's an actual emergency in the meantime, because I could always get those, reagents over time later if I had to.
Yeah.
Actually, what blows my mind is I'm thinking right now. If I look back, I haven't done a full assay of my spells, but I might actually have the remove condition spell that you need.
Oh no, we would need reincarnate or resurrect. He's dead.
Yeah. I mean, we need more than just that. More than just that, though, right? Because he was also super corrupted.
Reincarnate will work.
I have Raised Dead. I even have Raised Dead fucking ready.
Raised Dead won't do what we want, right?
I have Reincarnate, although it's not prepared right now.
So
I now have the materials to make it, to do it.
Yeah, the discussion that we've had was that you have the material. You have a little bit of the materials on hand for Reincarnate. You can reincarnate him, but just in case.
I have Great Arresto also.
Me too.
Yeah, so like I'm pretty sure, exactly. Between the three of us, I'm pretty sure we have all the magic we need as long as we're rested and ready.
Yeah, but there's the materials.
Oh,
exactly.
Right.
Because some of that costs like between 1,000 and 5,000 gold of materials.
Tons of money. We all have fuck tons of money, don't we?
I don't.
Yeah, no, I've got some.
Well, you've got a dragon horde. But getting the materials for Reincarnate is still.
I have 600 gold.
Super
That's
easy.
it.
I haven't looked recently, but I haven't spent a lot of money, so I'm sure I have.
I haven't spent hardly any money either.
But as Dirk said, we have a dragon's horde.
Yeah, money is no longer an object for
mail order is what we do. We just gotta find the right people.
So at current time, Reincarnate is being saved for an emergency, like Monk said.
Right.
That was the conclusion we came to.
But if we solve this problem, is that not an emergency? Like we should solve the
If we can take out the tower, then we can go get Bet.
Wouldn't
if one of us dies
to have Bet fighting with us when we go to take out the tower?
No, he's a level 3 schmuck, dude.
Like, no. That's the best thing to hear Mont Lawrence say. When I arrived, perhaps that was so, but now
the problem is
later I can sell his
if we do Reincarnate, he's in a different race, a different body, a different everything, and he doesn't have a chance to get leveled up.
I'm sorry, that's just hilarious. Mont Lawrence like, now scurry home, little squire. Go home.
Yep.
I'll take care of this for you. Yep. Tell everyone.
But no, jokes aside, my expectation is to appoint him as a kind of ambassador once we figure out a way to get him home. Right?
Your squire, I think, is perfect.
That's funny.
Well, I mean, consider his
familial
relationship to you.
Exactly. No, I think that's great. But yeah, so like I do have a plan to address that particular concern.
Okay, cool.
So that's kind of why I need to make my case in person, right?
I'm done making jokes.
Yeah.
I just had jokes to make,
Totally.
For the record, Eska doesn't hate the idea.
Well, that's probably relevant.
Oh, yeah, that's super relevant. But yeah, I mean, part of
in a backroom kind of way, maybe not, maybe so. I don't know.
No, it matters to me. Like
I know it matters to you, but I mean, in terms of selling it,
is to bring All Saints back. That's what she wanted us to do.
That's right. Yep.
This is all in service of that goal.
Well, and it just depends on when you have to go sell that to the guy in charge. It's like, does having the dryad or the naiad mean anything if I've got her in my back pocket?
Right. Yeah, that's a portion.
The god of the town says, "I'm cool. Can I?"
Right.
You have her like in a little
exactly.
Just a little cutlet, just like 3 leaves and a sprout in a little bucket.
A little watermark on the page.
What role did you ask for again?
Governorship of Althans and the territory around it. Yeah.
I guess also, sir, in my letter, I might also say that the agency would also like to promote Montlarin as governorship of a province.
Whole ass statue of your elven ship.
Yeah, okay. So Alvis is trying to both build his agency and put like the the monetary support behind a legal.
Sure, and
No,
whatever
no,
influence he can peddle, because
Yeah.
that's what he's good at.
No, you got it. I'm already trying to seed the government here. It's a brand new provinceship. I mean, one of the reasons why this is good.
Knowing that you two are comrades probably makes the club pretty happy about that idea, because that means they literally have the governor's buddy on payroll.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I mean, there's not a whole lot wrong with it. It just, the person who doesn't want to be poached, well, she'd give it up through her clawed grip,
Well, that's what I was saying in chat earlier, right? Like, if I do get that governorship, you and I can sign a contract where I give you some exclusive commercial right in exchange for you guaranteeing all of your labor will be locally sourced and led.
Yes, exactly. Which will go exactly towards our charter.
Elven Advance takes control.
Right. Well, and so if Sharp gonna stay, then the only way he could would be under your agency.
Right, it's got to go union.
Exactly, and likewise, his issues were about it. About the organization was its corruption, how it held people down. Right. If this extension of the agency held the people of the province up, perhaps he could find less alienation in the guild, and actually, work with it.
Maybe. Yeah.
Return to the fold. You
I
think?
like that.
So, at a certain point, Professor Dex will wheel over, and it's to Lauren. He'll say, "Hey, we have this new obelisk. I need somebody to help me take it to that keep you found."
Yeah, I think it's time we head back, honestly. I want to poke around a little bit while we're there, and I would love to have an obelisk at my back while I did it.
Good. It'll take, some time as usual to get it set up once we get there, and we'll have to protect the wagon on the way, obviously, but we've got flags and tabards and all the things that hopefully we'll need to keep us safe. I've even got a couple flags we can hang up on the fort proper. We'll bundle them in the wagon. So good. Okay. Then the sky is still red. But I'll make preparations to travel. It feels like I've barely been in All Saints for a couple of weeks, and I've already got to head out to a new camp.
Well, hell, we've only been here for a couple hours, so I know how you feel.
Almost a day.
Oh, it's been we're a few days into the Redshift.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have been at least a day, right? Like,
you guys have been
we've been here for a minute. That said, yeah, here we are, and off we go again, I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah. So that'll be where we start next time. I suppose. Is Team A heading back to the keep where they met Holtzman for the last time, to fortify it with an obelisk, bringing plenty of food and supplies to get it set up. And of course, you've got a supply line almost back down to Maracus once you do that.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Right. Logistics are us.
So we'll start from there 2 weeks from now. I think everybody said they're good.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we'll be around.
I'll be
Good.
here.
Sounds good to me.
Excellent. That'll be the end of the session for now then. You guys are 40, 36, 34 XP away from level 11.
44. 44
Some
XP.
goofy number.
I know, and level 11, man. I never thought that when I started out to be a bard like I am, that I would
A
be
level
so powerful.
11 bard.
11.
That's some barding.
Right?
I mean, I didn't have any idea what the hell I was doing when I came up with the concept for Naya.
Nope.
So here we are, 5 years later.
Is it 5? I thought it was like 7.
No, it's 5. 5 and a bit.
It's only 5. So
Some of you are better timekeepers than I.
And and I'm about to hit level 11, and it's like, I mostly still have no idea what I'm doing, but it is very fun.
We're really glad of your company.
I am really glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you
Hell
for
yeah.
joining.
And thank
Everyone.
you, sir.
Heck yeah. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir. Jeez.
The
Thanks for
end is
hosting.
approaching fast.
Oh no.
I'm
We-
still
we just
nervous
need-
about not having any allies.
I know. Oh, we're on your side.
Oh, we have
Yeah,
some. but
Honestly, if
And
I'm
we're a
looking at
superhero team. Like we're actually like a Avengers style superhero team if you look at all of our powers.
if I'm looking at the
We don't have a
like
spaghetti
the
man.
quest log, right? We have
I'm the Falcon of the team.
given
Decided
not
to
giving
average.
any weird surprises that pop up. We got this obelisk we need to set up. We got to do something at Gimmery. Maybe
Yeah, so
return.
the reason I want to set up the obelisk first is because I want to search that keep for maybe something like a general's uniform.
Most
Yeah.
def. No, that sounds pretty.
That sounds
yeah.
good.
No, I like that idea. But no, like
And I know there's not much left of it, so I don't have high hopes, but maybe we'll find something.
Maybe if you can find some shred of it, we can get one copy.
Oh, dude, if you get enough of it, we can mend the fuck out of it.
Well, I don't know
maybe
if
we'll
we can
find a
mend it, but we could
portrait or
probably
something,
pretty
you know?
easily recreate it if we had patterns to work from.
I don't know. I got some magic.
yeah, but likewise, no, just to feed off of what Serb was saying, as I don't see much left in the quest log before the finale.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I don't know how much the tower is going to have itself.
I know, right? Exactly. But I said barring any unseen weirdness.
Yeah, it's the final dungeon though.
You never know, man. It might be the part where you switch over to the next piece of the album and find out that one piece is the whole side of the album. And that's why there's 2 more records.
Well, the tower is in walking distance.
Exactly.
Bum, 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 bum. Anyway. Thanks,
Thank you
sir.
again. Yes.
Good
Yeah,
night.
thanks, man.
Rest well, sir.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good stuff.
everybody. Thank you.
Love
for
you,
joining.
mean it.
Cheers.
Night, everybody.
Good night out there, everybody.
Night, night.